The widening war in West Asia has pivoted from military targets to striking the core energy infrastructure powering global markets. After Israel struck Iran's South Pars gas field, Iran retaliated by targeting energy sites in Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Israel, and Qatar. The strike severely damaged facilities that process liquefied natural gas. LNG is natural gas that has been cooled to a liquid state for easier storage and maritime transport. U.S. President Donald Trump publicly distanced Washington from the South Pars strike. However, American media later cited Israeli officials stating that Washington had been informed in advance, creating a direct discrepancy between public denials and leaked accounts. This dashboard shows the immediate market reaction. On the left, 2 of Qatar's 14 LNG trains are now offline for up to 5 years, removing 17% of its export capacity. On the right, you can see how this physical disruption drove crude oil prices up to a peak of $114 a barrel as Indian equities sold off. As shipping routes through Hormuz rerouted, the WTO warned that global merchandise trade growth will slow to 1.9% in 2026, a sharp drop from the 4.6% projected for 2025. The WTO, or World Trade Organization, is an intergovernmental entity that regulates global trade rules. A regional military conflict has now triggered a live global inflation and logistics crisis. India's free trade agreement negotiations with Israel and the GCC are likely to stall due to the conflict. An FTA, or free trade agreement, is a pact reducing import and export barriers between nations, and the GCC, or Gulf Cooperation Council, is an economic union of 6 Arab states. To cushion the blow of rising shipping costs, Delhi launched a 497 crore rupee relief scheme, providing credit insurance protection to exporters. This flow map details a critical vulnerability driving emergency government audits. India imports nearly 30% of its fertilizer consumption, and 5 of its top 10 suppliers are located directly within the West Asian conflict zone. Simultaneously, local administration in Delhi is stretched by internal civic failures. Civil authorities are navigating the public safety fallout from a fatal 4-story building fire in Palam, while the High Court ordered heavy police deployments to manage communal tensions in Uttam Nagar following a deadly local clash. At the state level, the Chhattisgarh Assembly passed a strict new law replacing previous religious conversion statutes, introducing life imprisonment and steep fines as the opposition boycotted the proceedings. The Indian state is currently forced to manage external supply chain hemorrhages while simultaneously containing internal civic instability. In the corporate sector, Atanu Chakrabarty abruptly resigned as chairman of HDFC Bank, citing practices unaligned with his personal ethics over the past 2 years, without identifying a specific issue. This chart illustrates the market's immediate reaction to that interpretive vacuum. Despite reassurances from regulators, the stock erased roughly 5% in a single day, wiping out approximately 1.03 lakh crore rupees in market capitalization. This bar chart tracks Ola Electric's reallocation of capital. The company legally shifted 475 crore rupees from funds originally raised for research and development during its IPO, moving that money towards debt repayment. An IPO, or initial public offering, is the first time a company offers its shares to the public. R&D stands for research and development, the process of innovating new technologies. This descending line overlays the harsh operational reality driving that decision. Third quarter revenue fell 57% to 504 crore, forcing the company to use innovation capital to buy time. Major Indian corporations are pivoting rapidly from narratives of growth to emergency survival tactics. Editorial consensus points out that these compounding energy shocks are reconfiguring strategic global dependencies. Because Russia remains one of the few large suppliers with a tradable surplus outside of West Asia, it is positioned as an unintended beneficiary. At the same time, policy discussions warn against states locking themselves into opaque AI systems for administration and security. AI, or artificial intelligence, refers to computer systems trained to perform tasks that typically require human reasoning. Experts argue these systems should only be introduced after strict necessity and privacy tests, rather than adopted simply because the technology exists. This dashboard displays the final market reality. Equities plummeted, with the Sensex dropping 2,496 points, while Brent crude oil climbed to $110.06 a barrel, and the dollar strengthened to 92 rupees 64 cents. The convergence of a physical infrastructure war, maritime trade breakdowns, and internal corporate stress has rewritten the economic baseline for the foreseeable future.